Usually it's
farmer's market.
not usually. No, I just go down here to Smart Farm.
Oh, really?
That's a lot cheaper.
Okay.
Then I put it in these jars and count that I built, so I can see what I want.
Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice.
So I actually use that.
I know. That's actually good. You get the beans. That's like a lot of the things that I eat are there. So.
Yeah. I love making split pea soup.
Oh, right.
And Trader Joe's has this bacon, end pieces, the uncured bacon, chopped up for like $5 in this big bunch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, that's cool.
And I chop that up and cook it up.
Oh, I've seen those. I've never actually done that. Oh, okay. So you just do that with the that would be great.
It's delicious.
Awesome. Awesome.
I saute at the bottom of the pan, cook the beans in, the peas in, and
it is all good, yeah. It is. La 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 la. La la la
this
la
is
la.
Cancer bean. I've got this
Oh, that's right.
big.
What? I might say fig. Is it in here?
Oh
Oh my gosh,
I've
so
got-
many. Is
I also have
this
some
figgy, this one here?
That might be.
That biggest?
I know there's something else that's a spicy one.
Chili spicy. Did
Yeah.
you make that or is
No,
that?
my former roommate many years ago made that.
Oh wow.
But he didn't make it many years ago. So
Extra
open
spicy.
it up. Let me check. Over there. Let me see here.
Oh my god, you know better than me.
Yeah.
It was like, turn it to you.
And that's an onion fig.
That's not bad. That's kind of cool.
That is good.
Yeah.
But then, let me get a big real fig.
Sure.
Yes.
God, he's the Here's a lord of. How many do you do?
A lot. Because I've got lots and lots of fruit.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I asked for the most difficult thing on the planet. I'm sorry. I didn't think so.
Cactus jelly.
Okay.
Cactus in the front yard.
Ooh, cool. Cacti.
Mm-hmm.
That's delicious.
Really good.
Ooh, that's pretty. Wow.
You got it on your watch. Yeah, sure. Jetta and it won't wash it.
It won't wash out. Be careful. It's like, don't spill today. It's the worst.
Great.
Okay, perfect. Let's get my sugar content back up. Oh!
I'm gonna have a big
Oh, really?
I've been cooking
Wow.
some patties, but I'm also getting a ton of fruit. Moving like crazy. What do you think? Isn't that nice?
I would have no idea that a cactus would taste like that.
What's the fruit?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the paddles are a whole different thing. These sort of like asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
Sour asparagus.
So what have you been working on?
I'm going to move this breakable out.
Yeah, really. I can't read that one.
I have a book over here.
Oh.
Well, I've been trying to incorporate all of these Brenda notes that I got because I memorize everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that.
Oh, okay.
I wish these were in different colors, but they're not. But for me it is, which is why I'm going to be reading off my computer.
So with Timely, everything's okay there?
Yeah.
Why don't you take one of these?
I wanted to. Here's something that Timely is doing their cabaret the same night, like at 9 o'clock. I'm scheduled to go on 9:15 that night after my 2:30 show that afternoon. Yeah.
Okay.
So it won't exactly be a preview, but I have 6 minutes, which is what I told them.
Yeah,
but whether you can be there or not, I don't.
Check if I'm supposed to be. I don't know if I'm supposed to see a show that night. Yes, I do. I do the ovation voting for the Los Angeles Theater Awards.
Ah.
So I see like 30 shows a year that I vote for the awards. So I can't remember if I have something on. I have to look at it.
The only thing I would want to do between now and then is I will either do it a cappella, but if I have a track that I could, it's just one song for 6 minutes, probably Far Rockaway, and just super easy.
Okay.
And it can even be on my phone. Like I'll record it. It's the fridge. I don't really care.
Right.
As long as I go in there and I'm great.
Mm-hmm.
I did Far Rockaway for them for some stage hand the other day when I was dropping off my check because I like the idea of saying, so tell me about your show. Okay. And then I did. Because I like the idea that I would do that.
Yeah.
But no, so I have 6 minutes that night.
Okay. And then everybody from the family group is doing their sort of, or there's a big bunch of people doing different segments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think I can do anything I want, but I should sing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it could be.
Are they doing it in the big room?
I'll send you the thing. I think it's in that big common area.
Right, and are they keeping the piano in the common area?
She is saying that she does not have instruments, but things can be plugged in, and there's a whole big email that I saw about it this morning.
No, because the family has a piano. I've played it there.
I believe you. You said they had two.
I thought they had two.
They probably do.
So in that big space, there used to be an upright, and then there was a spinet that I played in one of the other rooms one time. So I don't know if that's the.
I mean, I'll send you the thing.
Yeah, forward it to me, so I know what's happening.
I know you want to work transitions, but I'd like to go through the opening because I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Let's see, you changed the opening.
I don't know why this is. Why are you calling people? I don't know. Who are you talking to?
Oh, the phone?
Yeah, it's.
I had a weird thing on my phone coming here. All of a sudden, literally, I mean, and considering what's going on now, I'm talking to, I think I was talking to Richard, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm hearing like this Russian voice in the background. And I was like, so anyway.
Yeah, no, if you grow up in the 60s and you hear disorienting Russian voices,
makes you think.
I am the storyteller. This is the story of the boy who writes songs that would come to life to save the boy and give him a story to tell so that he would become the man who tells stories about the boy who writes songs. This is my story. Imagine, in the shadow of the Brooklyn Bridge, a small house on top of a tall building. Outside of the small house, on top of the tall building, is a boy of 10, standing in a crib. He is wearing large earphones, sunglasses, and holding a baton with which to conduct an orchestra of stuffed animals. The happy couple inside the small house on top of the tall building in the shadow of the Brooklyn Bridge were arguing. That kid's in his own world. Send him to a special school. But with a motion of silence from the boy conductor, the outside noise subsides, and he taps his baton on the crib to ready the orchestra for the opening number. Every night, after my shower, when everyone else had gone to bed, crash, crash, arguing, there has been hour after hour.
Even there, like that one right there, that was great. I love the openings. Do you like the opening? Did you like the music underneath?
I was good. No, that was perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect. I want to spend an hour talking about all the great Brenda things I want to say.
No, but that was good. That actually worked. I know where the
Wasn't that nice?
I know where the dissonance needs to come in now. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
And then
breaking glass.
Right, and then so every night. So I would say right now, if you have lines in between, like you had a line there, right, in between after bed, right?
Yeah.
Don't rush. I will catch you.
Okay.
I will stay on that because I can stay on a C chord right there.
Oh, yes.
I don't have to do anything. So
I really have to trust you. Okay.
Yeah. So every night. So that's the ones I want to get to right now are those trust moments.
Yes.
Because it's better for you to trust me and have me catch up than it is for you to feel like you have to rush.
Okay. No, thank you.
So
every night.
Okay.
Every night. After my shower, when everyone else had gone to bed, here I'd spent.
You did a line.
I know I do it, then I didn't do it the second time because I really kind of did it wrong the first time, but now I'll do it forever. Okay. Every night, after my shower, when everyone else had gone to bed. God damn it, I told you to be quiet! There I'd spent.
So that's for us?
Because I heard you play the notes.
Instead of doing one bar there, give it two. Let me take a pencil.
Yes.
I would put 2 bars for me there. Then you don't have to panic.
Hi.
So do you need to mark?
No, because I'll get it.
It's okay.
Every night after my shower, when everyone else had gone to bed. God damn it! Be quiet up there! I've had it! There I'd spent hour after hour with a towel wrapped around my head. More noise, dishes crashing, arguing, chaos. I make believe it was this fancy hair and lip sync with a bottle of shampoo. If you don't go to bed, I'm gonna come upstairs with a belt. To the radio, turned way down low. More arguing, then goddamn it, I'll knock you out. Crawl under the covers. By flashlight I'd read Star Magazine. Big premieres, apples, parties, red carpets, limousines. Boy, I'm coming with a belt. Screaming fans lined up behind a velvet rope. In my dream, it's me, Dave. Am I,
which word do I go? Where place? Okay, where do you go?
No, I'm wrong. Screaming fans lined up behind the velvet rope.
I don't have those words right here. So
I know, because they're missing.
Okay, so did you do that on that?
Yes, I don't know why I took those words out, but screaming.
Just do it.
Oh, there.
Do the boy. I'm coming with the belt. That's
screaming fans lined up behind a velvet rope. In my dream, it's me. They've come to see. I'm coming upstairs.
Okay.
Then I hear the alarm, and I'm back home on the farm. Oh, that's why I did. Because I'm back home in hell.
So I'm gonna write the words in real quick.
Yes. Then I would hear her yell.
I would hear. What did I just do? I hit something.
Yeah, there's like 5. I've got to go in and correct this, but there's like 5 measures missing because it switches from like 23 to 28.
Reset.
But I'll fix that. It's good to know that.
I should just know that. I should just know what I might have hit. That's all. I'm just curious. I'm going. What? I must have done something.
You may not have hit anything.
Okay.
And I'm back home.
I just had the pencil. I'm looking
It's
to see.
on the right part of the right.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. So then I'm back home, right?
And I'm back home. Then I'd hear her yell.
Then I hear
her, and then I hear her yell.
Is that right?
And I'm back home in hell.
Oh wait, well, I just went. Okay.
I know.
Well, I just want to make sure that there's something I can do here, just in case. Let's perfect piano. Okay. There's something that got touched, right? Because otherwise, it just wouldn't go by itself. There we go. Then I'm
here, yeah, and I'm back home in hell. Where do dreams go when you wake up? Do they wash away like tears?
it was okay. And I'm back home on. Oh, this line is gone. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, that one. Guys, can you just do from I'm back home?
Yeah. And I'm back home on the farm. I don't know how. I gotta fix all of it.
Yeah.
Where do dreams go when you wake up? Do they wash away like tears running through makeup? Will I spend my life in a crowd, stuck behind a velvet robe? I need to sing and dream out loud. Boy, I'm coming! I need something more than magical sounds. How you doing, kid? So, you say you need something more than hope to get you beyond the velvet rope? Well, that's a cue, or I'm a dope. I got a plan, but you cannot mope. That's it, kid. One rule: no moping. I'm Solomon Singer, kid. I'm a song you write. I'm here to protect you. That's why I'm a crooner. You are the boy who writes songs that will come to life, that will save the boy. Now you go on with What If the Next Disney Princess Were Autistic opening number, and I'll check in after the bunny concert. Ladies and gentlemen, our star! Beyond the velvet rope, put that kid in a special school where we'll make a new start. There won't be a doubt, 'cause now standing out is what sets me apart. Keep him from the other kids. Put him either in the music room or in the art room. He's off in his own world, but he's harmless. But he likes to draw and play with the piano. Is he retarded? Mildly or high-functioning autistic. With Tourette's, he makes barking noises. But otherwise, he's harmless, but very disruptive. He's better off in here. I can't say just how I know, but before you start with is this real and who are you bullshit, get real, kid. You're over there on the spectrum, making up musicals. This is normal for you. No, deep in my heart, I'll find my life beyond the velvet rope. It was just a matter of time before it became real. Beyond the velvet rope, where my life will begin, with new trusted blades and folks to amaze who say they knew me way back when I was just a guy who never quite fit in. We're here to help you, kid, because let's face facts. Nobody around here is going to help you. We know what you want, kid, and we're going to make you a star. You got an agent, a manager, a drill sergeant, a therapist, right inside your head. We're going to get you out of here, kid. We are your songs. Weirdo, weirdo, weirdo. Forget him, kid. Concentrate on your songs. Give me a number to sing about to the good people out there, about your family. They should know what you're dealing with. Something bluesy. They'll love it. Mama was upset. Life had turned, her marriage had turned out not like a fairy tale she dreamed, more like a boxing bout. They only got along when the two of them passed out. So she wanted once a lot, but she got a lot. He was a lot too. Tonight's Christmas, kid, 1972. The night Daddy walks out, and Mommy goes crazy. Why do you think we're here? Hang tight, kid. Here she goes. Her drinks were all swizzled, 'cause her heart had been chiseled. She crackled and she sizzled, 'cause all her dreams had fizzled. She was at peace. It's not that far of despair, all of which made her manic as well as depressed, suffering bouts of panic which couldn't be repressed, paranoid delusions and extremely narcissistic and response complicated. She would go ballistic. You better be careful there, kid. You know what they say, after you become your mother, you marry her. You're not Oedipus, kid. Remember that. Say, and your brothers aren't exactly prizes either. Johnny was upset. His life had turned out like it did when he put in charge of us. Although he was a kid, he was a
kid right on there.
Even though he was a kid, he was a quantum singularity of evil-focused clarity. His Napoleonic histrionics got him hooked more than phonics. He was a black hole. Black hole. Black hole. Black hole of despair. Let's not forget William.
Okay.
I gotta redo all of this.
It's
all over the place. But
it was just backwards. That's all. Okay. Then it's I forget William because you're black hole. Okay.
Let's not forget William. And I think I did forget William. Oh no, here it is.
Yeah.
I don't have my mouse up here, and this is impossible.
Oh, I know. It's hard if you're not used to using the non-mouse version. And then it's. Let's not forget William, and then it keeps. It won't. It'll be there. Don't worry.
It's there. My hands shake, and it's why I can't play, and it angers me intensely.
Breathe. Breathe. I know you never want to hear that, but do breathe.
My hands have been angering me all day. Is what it is, and
is that where your energy goes to your hands, and is it
well, it does, but then these fingers don't always work. These two, and they're great for massage, and I'm very strong, but I can't always get them to work independently, and that's why I can't really play. And anyway, and sometimes they lock, and I do, and I work on them every day because I'm me, and then I start to touch things, and it's very frustrating. My hands are very frustrating.
Not seeing the other mouse. This one.
Mouse.
Mouse. We got mice.
So good. It's good to go through section by section because, like I said, I'm doing this massive rewrite for something, so I'm having to go section by section. So I get this. So we're good. Let's just like use it. Let's get through this. Let's get through Willie, and let's go all the way up, and because it's good for me to know a section. So this section you feel like ends by when? After
the note that the experience that you're going to change before we see each other again is that I really need to let him sing an entire verse of Beyond the Velvet Rope without interrupting him. And I feel like I love the fact that it kind of comes in broken up, you know, and then we get it. But I really never give him a chance to sing like one thing.
I think you're right. I think that's good.
So I think it cut off too. I think I have
too many interruptions.
So, and he never gets to sing the full verse.
Yeah.
And if I bring it back at the end, it's not going to mean as much if you didn't. So that's my note to myself. And then the grease fire is a big mess, just in terms of cutting and pasting. I know what happens, but I really have to do a better job of putting that together for you.
Don't worry.
What happens with the parts I want to show you, which are great.
So right now, so then we go through the different grease fires, right?
Yeah.
And then the next major incursion is when
I have to tell you about
who comes in after that last behind 1,000 different faces of mine. That's a different song. Wait, where am I going? I see.
I can find where you
many
are.
So different. I am so many different. When do the grease fire versions? Oh, I know. So we're getting after Willie, right? Billy, what is it? William. And then my mother burned down the house intentionally. She was out of the asylum that day. It was her first day home. I had been in the house alone. She returned, got drunk, set her room on fire. It was me that pulled her out. I was 12. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
That's an end of a section, correct?
Yes, with shattering glass.
Right. Okay. So just when you're going back to look at that section, just what you said, again, that's that audience trust thing. So if you have like 4 interruptions, remember that you can probably, or 5 interruptions, you can probably do it with 2 or 3.
Ideally, I would do it with none because it would be a sound effect, you know?
Right.
Where I could sing and be interrupted at the same time, sort of. But
right.
But yes.
Oh, I'll get it. And then the other thing is, it would be hard to do for Saturday. But if there's anything that you wanted the pianist to say.
I want to write an entire thing for anybody at the piano all the time, and it would be super fun. But no, there isn't a way to do it by Saturday. So, not without driving you crazy. But yes, in the future, when I do this, the next incarnation or wherever I do, then we'll have a specific color for the piano player. Piano player says this. Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Or just as, we don't even need a color. We just need like cue, and I can just mark things, so you don't have to worry about the marking.
I know.
That's cool. So then you get done with this section, right?
Yeah. So we have the opening number and the terrible family.
And the terrible family, right?
And
I think in having less interruption on the opening number will let us enjoy the fantasy of it more. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, I do. I felt me interrupting me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, then, now that I hear it out loud.
That's the key thing with anything. Like I said, I have to. I'm having a reading of one of my scripts that's 115 pages tomorrow night, and so I'm going to be shooting myself before then. It's a very crazy script, and so, but I just know that I have to read it. Even when I'm writing, I have to read it aloud.
And then it flies around and does whatever it wants.
Okay.
And then
so after you get done with this about the family, the last words that you leave people with are, "I was 12, was my birthday," correct?
And shattering glass.
Right, and then the next section is it just starts with making sure.
Yeah, that's it. I was so many different people. I don't know how to say. But when you grow up in a house where everyone's insane, you adapt and you adjust. Don't complain or dare to trust. You become a man of 1,000 different faces. Look, kid, these people held you hostage, and you escaped before going all Patty Hearsty. You know, acquiring the Stockholm Syndrome. You got enough syndromes. Anyway, I got things to do on your behalf, but I want you to meet someone. She's your next song. Oh, Amanda? Hello. I'm Amanda. Amanda reckon with. And I'll make you a man to reckon with. There were so many different people living in my head. But if I had been all alone, I would have wound up dead. So I'd hide behind a mask, and I'd rise up to the task. For I was a man of 1,000 different faces. That will be your strength, honey, and that will be your mission, because you are the boy who writes songs, and I gotta look for every one of those faces. And you can give, oh yeah, I did that already. And you can give every one of those faces a song, like you did me and Mr. Solomon over there. We're here to help you right after your makeover, because please. How do I begin again? Where do I start? When I've been an entire cast, how do I play one part? Oh, you don't. You are the boy who writes songs. What you do is move, change everything, and forget those people. They're monsters. I am so many different people. I don't know how to say who it is I might have been and who I am today. But I hope that I can find a boy I lost behind the man, the cast, behind 1,000 different faces. Okay, song boy. It's all about goals and actions. Your actions must align with your goals, always. You want to be a star? You better work! Welcome to my world, the world of the makeover. Come on, honey, it's going to take all of us, and by all of us, I mean you, and by you, I mean all of us. And I was very busy. We've been over this. So the point is, honey, it's going to take a decade. We gotta make over your whole life. You thought your family was bad. She's sounding a lot like Sola. Well, in the music room with,
I don't know.
she started to. But seriously, honey, you thought they were bad. Your special needs going to public high school. Offstage schoolyard taunting, school bells, name calling, faggot in particular. And then this we have to work out. I can say it, but what it should sound like is bum 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 2, 3, 4 bum 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 2, 3. They call you a misfit, a mistake, a mishap, and other misguided, miscellaneous crap. They misunderstand you, misguide you, mistreat you. They jail you, they nail you, or let the lions eat you. Oh, when they start to dish you. Oh, don't reach for a tissue to wipe away each tear for you, my dear. That's crap. That's when you must snap, faggot. Hold on, honey. Let me just handle this. Hey, boy, yeah, you like to think about my cock so much. Why don't you just go ahead and suck it? And not like last time, either. You know, with your crooked teeth scraping. It's like getting a Hummer from Dracula. Or in your case, Cracula. Either way, it was the worst dollar I ever spent. But tell me, does your mother still take food stamps? Come on, boy, I got a song.
And how does this one go again?
It's also disco, but it would be much easier. But here's how I hear it. You must be fierce in your mane, in your growl, in your claws. Oh, at your scowl and your lash and the clash of your jaws. Give a pause. But don't they toss with fear and God, there your face in a regal style and give them a smile, honey. You must be fierce. And then I think she, and then that's verse 1. This is the biggest thing we have to fix, by the way. Okay, so that's the verse 1. Hey, did you hear that weird orphan kid that lives here? The retard whose crazy mother burns the house down? Oh yeah, what about him? He's got the lead in the senior musical. What? I told you, honey, I know makeovers. But we are nowhere near through because I gotta get you a scholarship. Come on. You must be fierce in your love, in your pride, in your song. With a voice dignified, open wide, sing out strong, you belong. Dig in your heels and stay your ground. Holy roar, make a joyful sound till the hatred is drowned. You must be fierce.
Where's the sound? Oh, there's this. Oh, there's the sound till the hatred
is drowned. Must be fierce. Stop. And by 36, okay, it took me a lot longer than I thought. But you should have seen you. You wanted time. And I wanted to time it for the new millennium. Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. Nice boy and computer nerd millionaire husband who just loves to watch you perform and stand with a camera quietly in the corner with a house on Fire Island. And then I got you the most prestigious music theater writing workshop ever. The Lehman Ingle Workshop for composers and lyricists. I got you the starring role in Jeffrey, the gayest character ever written. I got blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
so
Cool. So let me go. Oh, and attended by the gayest playwright ever, Paul Rudd.
He did. He was there. He had a house. He had to. His house was next door.
So where did you do Jeffrey at? You did it at
Cherry Grove Playhouse in Cherry Grove, Fire Island. It doesn't really. The point I want to make, and I have to kind of clean all of this up, but it's a larger discussion. It wasn't just that I was going to be a star. I was going to be the gayest fucking star ever, including The Adventures of Power Queen, which is all drag and camp and gay. And all of my shows were gay. And it was all about, and so I didn't really realize this, but when Amanda takes over in the story, this is exactly what she would do. Oh, you're going to be super gay. And it was like the same year that I was Jeffrey in Jeffrey, which is a super gay play.
right.
My design won the Heritage of Pride logo contest for 2000. So it wasn't just my design had been accepted, it was going to be everywhere while starring in a show.
Right, yeah.
And that is exactly what Amanda would do. And I have to find, it's not just that things went well, they went super hot pink well.
Yeah, they did. Okay.
Yeah, and it's so she has been really fun for me to play with. She gets to do the stand-up. I have to do her better, but she's really fun. And she gets me, and and I think back on it now, it was, she has this song, You Must Be Fierce, and it's like, get the fuck out of my way, people, blah, blah, blah. And I realize I do that every day. Why am I so angry? Why am I so angry about Sunday? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, because fabulous. That's why.
Wish I had that.
I don't always, but I think, why am I screaming at this guy in the theater producer guy, Matthew Quinn, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, well, do you really think people want to hear 90 minutes about your life when you died? He said that to me in the car when I'm first meeting him, and we had 45 minutes in the car together, and they were very loud. And I didn't realize because no one had really. Matthew Quinn.
What does he do?
He's a facilitator at Asylum, and he's kind of overseeing 70 shows, but it's really he doesn't really do anything. He coordinates everything. He's very busy.
Right, yeah.
But he's not a producer. He's not a director. He's very involved.
It's a management person.
I guess, but he said, would you like to share a cab up to the thing? And I said, sure. And he said, how long is your show? And I said, I think it's going to run about 90 minutes. Mm. People don't want to hear about your life and you dying for 90 minutes. It was honestly like that. And I did not know. I had not anticipated this at all, because the tribe that I run around in, everybody's happy. Even when you suck, they're all going to say, great job. No, I loved it. No, they do. And because they genuinely did, but I'm not going to get I'm not going to get what I need, because they're all happy. So I didn't know how I would respond. When someone said, and I just went off. Have you seen the video? Because I've sent you 6. In fact, we have some time, Matthew. You'll be watching it now. And after you watch the video, Matthew, I don't think you'll have any more questions. And I did not know. That's me. I mean, I can put that act on for, oh no, and now you're seeing, oh no, now you're seeing this one. Here we go. I was on that. And by the end of the car ride, which did end with a hug and a handshake, it did. He goes, oh no, you're just passionate about your art. And I didn't realize I live with a beautiful man in a lovely home, and we go to nice places and see nice people. You know, so I did not know.
You forget that there's a lot of weird shit out there, man.
Yeah, and so
that's the technical term for it. Weird shit. Yeah.
So I had not been that part of me. It was never a question to me. It was never a question. Why on earth would this theater begin a conversation with a negative?
The only thing I'm not saying this in his defense. I'm just saying this in terms of just fringeology. Fringeology, just so if you haven't done it before.
Yes, tell me all about it.
Just in fringeology. Most shows in the fringe, because of the way they're designed and the way people rent spaces, unless it's a multicast. Most of the shows, if they're solo shows, and that's a majority now of Fringeology, or one other person who's in the background. Fringe shows are an hour or less. So in Fringe land. That's so that's one. And number two, I don't think your piece, because the only thing I'd say is about
I think it's close to an hour now.
Right, and I think yours is closer to an hour, which is great because there's a certain thing about people in chairs.
Yeah, they need a break about an hour 15, not much more than an hour 20.
Yeah, and for the most part,
or less.
And
it's hard for me to sit for a half hour.
Right. So think of it. That's another thing is that people in the Fringe going to shows. So this has something to do with the performers. People who go to the Fringe a lot, and there are some people who just kind of crack out on the Fringe. They're going, oh, well, I only have an hour right now because I need to get to that other show down on Blank Street and blah, 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 blah. So that's part of the hour mythology is also about the audience and having nothing to do with your show.
Yes, whatever. He's a good guy,
so I
understand.
And if you've been around, if you've been around the Fringe, and like some of these people who have managed it for how many years? There's some of the people who have been hanging there for a long time. There are certain things that prejudices that they carry in their head, and again,
what was revealing to me wasn't so much about Matthew Quinn, who's kind of a whore. Yes, because, no, I'm going to watch your video. Well, then I'm going to pay you the money, but I'm only paying you $80 tonight. I have the other 20 if you promise to watch the video. I did this. I have him on camera doing it, too. He doesn't know I take them now. And then I called him the next day and asked him, and he said, no, I haven't had a chance yet, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I sent him the video of him saying that he promised to watch it. Anyway, the point is,
don't get in trouble. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, I have officially
Don't.
left him. I don't. Anyway, it's not me. It's Brenda.
It's a man.
Brenda. She's very pushy. The point is, I did not know. That's me screaming at this guy. You don't understand how brilliant, blah blah blah. It was ridiculous. Which I liked. I ended up liking the fact that I would become so angry I would yell about it.
Right.
I would. In a night. I mean, it was not nice, but I was going to get out of the car at one point. I was livid. And so I didn't know how strongly I felt about that. But why is this thing upsetting me so much, or blah blah blah, or whatever the personalities wherever I go? Why are they so upsetting? Why? Because I'm fabulous. Because I'm fabulous, I insist upon it.
I just want to say, speaking of fabulous, I know you have some things to negotiate about how the show looks. Your voice sounds fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. And I don't know, there might be something to, I don't know if it's because you've just been singing so much that it's just become fluidity. But I wondered for a second, I was like, is it because you're sitting down and you don't feel like you have to push as much?
No, I'm doing a very conscious thing about trying to sing more straight tone.
I heard it, man, and that was great.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure.
Whatever you're doing, it was like, because I didn't feel like I was pushed to the nth all the time.
I would love to take voice lessons with anybody, including you. I don't think I know what I'm doing, but I know
you do actually.
But I know
as somebody who works with many singers each week,
I've been learning from him too.
I listen to myself all the time, and there is some truth that my voice is better simply because I'm using it more, because muscles do that. So that's great. But what's really irritating to me about my voice is this jackhammer of a vibrato. It's too regular. It's manufactured.
Yeah.
It's manufactured. I did not know I manufactured it because I'm subtle about it. But I run around in the crowd where some of us do manufacture our vibratos. And as you get older, you can see them doing it. And I thought, oh my God, that's exactly what I do. And I like the Ethel Merman vibrato that I have sometimes, but I'm finding as I'm watching Gary Broomberg, Marina Perkowski, any number of these singers who do this real straight tone.
Yes.
That I find my ears very attracted to. So I was thinking, I don't always want the Ethel Merman vibrato. So I've been
choose.
Yeah, so I've been thinking, and what I like about when I straight tone it, and I can't figure. I mean, I have a real picture of me. How I don't know why my hand has to make this shape when I'm straight toning, but I feel like ridiculously more in control, and it's kind of nice that the vibrato just kind of sneaks in at the very end, you know.
Yes.
So thank you. I've been very consciously thinking about how I sing, and I don't like all of it. I think I'm great. I'm loud. We all like loud.
Well, you sound. It's what has happened also in that is that you sound. I mean, you've always sounded great. I mean, that's not. So this is not like, oh, you're repairable. It's not. It's not that. It's just that I noticed just sitting here through this that you sound. It sounds a little bit more fluid, and that you were more emotionally accessible by not trying to deliver everything.
That's a great note for everything I do all the time.
It is. No,
it's my worst. I push too hard. I try too hard. I do.
Yeah. So
Oil can hearings, everything else aside, when I was watching me on stage, the lines were funny, but I'm like this, you know. Right. I'm funny, you know. I'm funny, you know, and it's not that exaggerated. But I was watching me not trust the audience. That's what I was watching me do.
Well, that's what my friend. That's to trust the audience and go. You know, you can say. I still think it's worthwhile at the beginning of the show. Somehow, it's one line I need to hear. I need to hear at the beginning of the show before the storyteller. When you say this, I'm a storyteller. And come to like to say the boy to give him a story to tell. I'm a storyteller. I'm going to write on this. I love that.
I love that too. Actually,
right?
Yes.
I think so.
Very simple. I wanted
but right after that, there was one line I would put in between. This is my story.
I'll do it now.
Right. Is it? And I don't know exactly how. I just have to watch time. I'm sorry.
I know it's 5 till.
Okay. Good.
Right? Yeah,
okay,
it's 5 till. You gotta go.
Go.
You have to leave at exactly 4 o'clock. I'm not gonna be one of these people that sucks the time out of you.
That was lunch. It already has. I have no time left. But is that after that? I do think you need and to do it again. This is like as calm as possible. This is a story. The boy writes a song to life to tell the boy. Give him a story to tell him. The storyteller. I'm the boy who writes the song. This is my story. I think something like eventually I die a couple of times and eventually come back to life. But back in time, imagine.
Okay.
Just that little snippet.
Yeah.
Something about that. That I've literally died twice and been brought back to life. But for now, let's go back to the beginnings.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a foreshadowing piece.
The whole thing.
That's all you need. And if you want to say I died and made it back to life twice, no, I'm not kidding. But let's go back to the beginnings. Before that, something so that it's like it's because then we know. The part of the outcome, because it's not a surprise. I almost died again later on, but if you have that in there in the beginning, then I know there's something really at stake.
Yes, I have 2 thoughts on that, which I'll present both of them to you later. I worry ridiculously about time. Here's what you need to know, because I have 3 minutes.
Okay, go ahead. 3 minutes. 3.5. Okay.
I sent you. I sent you this. You don't have to look at it, but the ideas that I talked about in breaking apart one day. One day I have one day. The ideas of adding exposition there, where it really does very much become. Saul sets up the meeting with Rogers there. You're going to meet your roommate,
Right.
But in the song, the idea of singing his songs again, and that they're kind of mad at him for not, and that they're in a piano bar, that idea is great. I do a very similar thing in between each verse of Invisible, which is where all of the dark stuff is.
Right.
You know, chemo and radiation, living under a bridge, seeing Frozen. It's a very sad story, but it's kind of in the bit. But here's what's great about that. Because I mentioned that I have to keep changing locations and names because my computer nerd X likes to find me. So I tell part of that, but I was living underneath a bridge in Long Island, going through chemo and radiation, collecting cancer bottles 6 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And then, and as the credits rolled, I saw Kristen Anderson Lopez's name, my fellow Harrington Award winner. We Harrington Award winners have to stick together. I'm always on my guard. There's no, and it just goes right, yeah, you know.
Right, yeah.
So there's a lot of those. I like Invisible, that I did that to Invisible, where we put all the dark storytelling. And then I like where I broke apart one day to create the idea of doing a show at all because the songs need to be heard.
Right.
And then with I'm Nothing But I'm All I Think About, which turns into Makeover 2.
Right.
You know, where she comes in. And then when I get to the end, because I have 1 minute, I want to tell you how I end the story, which is very pretty. There's Reed. I didn't write it until yesterday, and I wasn't sure what I was going to write.
Is it in here?
Yes, it is, at the very end.
Okay. After Live Life Every Day? Or right before?
Right before it.
Okay. Well, it's all big type too, so you're not. This is not normal type. This would be like half the size, half the length if it was on normal.
Yeah, I just can't see it.
That's okay. That's good.
Roger Steele died a few months after I moved in. What was great about Roger Steele wasn't that we were best friends. I barely knew him. He barely knew me. That was what was great. He never knew that I was homeless. He never knew I died. He never knew any of the dark history, the torture, the shelter. It was important to me that he didn't. I don't want to be defined by my sad story. What was great about Roger Steele is that he gave me a great deal of hope. A little grouchy but adorable guy who built a life by continuously showing up and never losing his sense of wonder, who had a network of friends and activities that gave him a very happy, busy, interesting life in a cute, grouchy way. It gave me hope because I foresee my future as a little grouchy but adorable guy who shows up continuously, having never lost my sense of wonder.
That's nice.
I lived with him every day. I visited him every day in the hospital. I kept him connected to the cabaret community he loved so much. Live streamings, video greetings, emails, messages, texts, bedside concerts. And I was there holding his hand, playing his favorite songs from one of his favorite singers as the sun was setting and his heart stopped beating with close friends nearby. And it was an honor and a privilege. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. This is who I was. I'm the guy whose heart can weep for a good friend that I barely know. Not because I'm sad, but because it was a beautiful life. I cry at beauty. And given all the ways I could have gone, I'm this guy. I show up. I'm the guy that showed up every day without fail because it's important. I'm that guy. I didn't know I was that guy. It was all instinct. It was all automatic. It was all easy somehow. That guy was good. That guy stood for things. That guy followed through. That guy should be the one that tells the story, this adventure.
Right, yeah.
And then we get into, and then each of the personalities have some, well, you better get started on it then, kiddo. Oh, yes. I see a whole new look for you. I see hats, glasses, teeth, beard, anything to cover that face. Look, buddy, you're the storyteller now. And you will be the one who tells the story about the boy who writes songs.
Nice to come back to it. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And then there it is. So I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good, because that made me, I had an emotional moment there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good one. That's a good, about telling the story about Roger.
Yeah, it's important.
And the thing is, and this is like the next stage, because this is all new material for you, which is like overwhelming. I know I have to do my own show at the end of July, which I'm not finished with, so I know the feeling. What you were saying about the energy stuff. Eventually, when you memorize this, you can be able to tell me the story of Roger Steele with what you're kind of some of what I think you're thinking of with the relaxing or thing is about. I think we all develop protections to the world, right?
Yes.
Right.
We wear suits of armor.
Suits of armor. So when you tell the Roger story, at that moment, I'll cry even saying this. If you can remove the armor entirely.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is going to be really fucking super hard.
It is, but understand that is kind of my goal. I am able to do it, and I do kind of know how to construct all of the elements that allow that to happen, but it doesn't always. But when it does,
no, you're serious. I'm being bitchy because I have to leave. Okay, here, sit down for a second. Tell me what you just said. Tell me the same thing you were saying right now, but say it with no extra energy and don't try to convince me.
Oh, I often run into this exact same thing. I can't always predict.
Even a little bit less. Even a little bit less. It's like so. I'll do it. It's like it would be for me. It would be like if I'm saying it to you, I would go. No, I always run into the same thing. I try to do this thing. So you don't. It's like sometimes it's even like if you don't make eye contact all the time, it allows you space. Because if you think that you have to talk to somebody here all the time. But
that's what they told me at Scientology. I'm sorry. I just
okay. All right. Yes.
I know it's creepy the way they look at you.
I know. So that's something that so it's going to feel whatever that, we all have these things that propel us to do things in certain ways. I was just at a table of people doing it around me today before I got here. So it's an actor thing because you did actor things back in time, right?
Not really.
Oh, you didn't do like the actor trainer?
No, I was just who was I telling me about?
Oh, you told me a little bit this that you didn't have.
I'm not an actor.
So the thing
I'm a chorus boy, really. So I got lucky. Sing loud, jump high.
Right. So the deal in this show is like a lot of it. Amanda can be totally that, right? Yeah. And Saul can be that too, right? Right? They can be that. And then and you don't always have to be vulnerable, but it's at that point where it's where you can let, because that's the actors you love on screen are the ones that let the facade go. There's the bad actors we watch that are supposed to be good actors that kind of do
things. The times that I have watched all of my live streams, and I know that's my quest. My quest is to get to that point where it's all very honest and real, and it's not look on track.
Even right now, relax. Even when you're talking to me, I'm gonna be.
See, but this is my natural state.
Well, I know your natural energy, but sometimes you have to pull it back down one step because. Even like me, I'm an over-the-topper all the time in some way.
To the point on Fire Island where you think this would come in handy.
Yeah.
I've gotten much better about it. That's why my hands are always in my pocket. So we were doing a Fire Island review, and the director gave me Mr. Monotony to sing. Do you know the song?
No.
It's an Irving Berlin song. Standing in a room alone with his dun 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 ba 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 ba. Don't move, Chuck. Ba ba ba. You're moving too much, Chuck. Ba. He gave me that song. You're not the first. but
So-
I will try to be less.
Yeah,
I look,
it's
the
just like
idea, but I
it's
think
good,
the
it's good.
idea of being able to have a saw and a chipped out man and an Amanda to reckon with who can do all of that.
That allows you to.
Yes,
It allows
but I really, I don't know that I'm going to master all of that by Saturday.
No. I'm just saying it's just that remember because you're.
It's an ongoing
I would suggest on Saturday for you is a music stand.
Yeah.
With your script.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Nah.
Just have it there, and it's nice big typeface.
Mm-hmm.
Just have it there.
Several copies.
Yeah.
Stage, different places.
Two different music stands, and that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. So that so that you don't have to worry, and that even if you mark on there on some point go totally relaxed here, so that you see it. You may not do it.
Yeah.
It's that saying, okay, I can be here. Okay, I have to not be here. I have to go there. Okay, thank you.
Wow.
I have to go. I have
You
to
got
go.
your big jam and stuff?
Yeah, so please be in contact and we'll figure out when we see each other again.
I'll try to figure out something tomorrow. I just had that stupid thing where I edited the wrong way.
Don't miss your step. I love you, Brenda. I can't go guys.
Walk in your car.
Okay, this way.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep
No.
forgetting that this one down here. There we go.
There.